What is up, Cornhole Nation? This is ACL analyst Trey Ryder here on the first ever episode of The Film Room. We're going to take a deeper look at certain cornhole matches from last year, this year, and dive a little bit deeper. Just like a quarterback would, just like a coach would, we're going to look deep into the sport, get to the nitty-gritty details, do a little scouting on some of the top players in the country, and hopefully bring you some lessons learned for not only you newer players getting into the game, but hopefully have something for the more experienced players in the game as well. To kick off the film room, I have selected one of my favorite games from the 2017-2018 ACL season. It is the ACL Championships match between Adam Hissner and Matt Guy. This game was a third place match, an opportunity for either one of these players to get into the finals to face James Baldwin. And if you remember the history, we know Adam Hissner, ACL Pro, wins this match against Matt Guy to advance to the finals. So we'll take a little bit of a deeper dive into how Adam was able to be successful against Matt and why I think his game plan and his strategy worked so well. All right, guys, let's take the first round that I want to look at here. We're a little bit into the game. It's 5-2. And the reason I wanted to look at this is I want to establish some strategy and see what Adam wants to do here. Matt is actually going to score in this round, but I wanted to really set the tone for what made Adam successful. Adam's going to throw his first bag in the hole. Adam is throwing sticky side down. Matt, of course, throwing extremely slick bags. So on this second bag by Adam Hissner, he throws this orange bag off to the side. Now a true block would sit in the center, blocking either player from being able to push the bag in. If the bag was closer to the center, it would be easier for Adam to push in the hole, but it would also be easier for Matt Guy to push in the hole. And that's significant because it's really sitting in Matt's complete trajectory of the hole. If he were to throw a normal slide shot, he's going to land about right here and go straight at an angle and into the hole. But since that orange bag is sitting sticky side down, it's not able to do that. So it really is a block on only Matt Guy's side of the hole. So by the perspective of Adam Hissner, as long as he doesn't want to try to push that bag in later, it is a good block. Matt is then left with two options. He can either go for a true airmail. He can go for a true airmail here, or he can do what he is going to do, and you'll see him do in a minute, and that is try to slide directly around the bag and stay tight, like I say, tight to the center of the board, and only ricochet off this orange bag here only ever so slightly. Now, if we watch the shot coming up, he's going to think about it, make his decision, and he ends off to the back of the hole. Not exactly what he wanted. You can see his facial expression. He doesn't really like that shot. So what Adam is left with the decision is he can go in with a traditional slide shot, or what he's going to do is he's going to try one of his little Adam Hissner signatures. He's actually going to hit close to the center of the board, but cock his wrist and have the bag fly on a sideways pattern so that it actually will go right to left on the board. And when he does that, he's going to attempt to bring and drag and push his orange bag that's already sitting in front of the hole in. When he tries this shot, though, it doesn't turn out exactly how he wanted. He missed it just a little bit. And you can see his facial expressions. He's hoping that bag will fall in. Now, Matt does a good job of avoiding that bag on this shot, and Adam misses to the left here. He's going to end up conceding a couple points here to Matt. He's going to finish out in the hole here. But the point I wanted to make in this round is Adam Hissner does an incredible job throughout this game of trying to block Matt Guy, and this round at the beginning kind of sets the tone for what he was trying to accomplish. All right, let's fast forward a couple rounds here. And another interesting round and see what we did. You see Adam goes with the first bag in the hole there. No attempt at a block. He did this a lot in this game. He attempted to block with his second bag, not his first one. And so that's what he's going to do here. He's going to block, and he's going to leave it a little bit short. Now, a little bit interesting here. Matt, again, going to step out. This time, the bag is on Adam's side, so it's closer to his side. Matt has a good angle to go around. Now, for those of you that love slick side bags, Matt is throwing really slick bags. He's throwing those Pro Edge speeds, I believe. So when he throws those, they're going to be so fast on that slick side, and he's going to get in a little bit of trouble here. Because this bag is obstructing just a little bit of the hole, Matt's going to throw it just an ounce bit harder, just a little bit. And as you can see, what's going to happen is just that little extra strength is really going to push that bag over the back of the hole. The lesson here is when you're throwing slick bags on the slick side of the hole, on the slick side of the bag, I should say, you do not need to throw it that much harder. Just a little bit of effort there. Adam follows it up by throwing it in, avoids that bag, another great shot. And again, Matt is going to do this same thing. He's going to try it again, and he's going to bunch it up. Now, here is what I love. Here are the decisions that need to be made. He's got really three options if you're Adam Hissner. You got option number one. You can block in front of the hole. You can make Matt Guy hit an airmail to drag all of these, and if he drags them all, then you're gonna end up with a wash. There's no harm in blocking here in front of the hole. If you are a beginner player, the best shot in this situation is that block. Okay, because if you're playing against another social player, if you're playing against another competitive player, the likelihood of that player being able to hit an airmail for a wash is very low. You're playing the odds by blocking here with a sticky side bag. Now, Matt Guy is not a social or competitive player. Adam Hissner knows that he is one of the best players in the world, one of the best airmailers there is in the world. So what does he do? He goes ahead, flips the bag over on the slick side, and pushes all the way through. He knows that the slick side of his bag, and he throws so hard that that bag is going to follow in. If you do not have the power that Adam Hissner does, you actually may think about an airmail yourself in that situation. The only problem is you don't want them to ricochet off the back. Matt's going to go with his last bag as a slide, and actually Adam Hissner gets lucky here. Matt misses the last shot and gives Adam 4 points. So really great mind games there, great strategy by Adam Hissner in that round. The next round I want to take a look at is actually the very next round. This one is one of my favorites of the game. It's going to start from the beginning, go all the way through with thinkers. I like to say thinker bags all the way through. The first bag by Adam is a block, again in front of Matt Guy's lane. Now, we have seen Matt Guy many, many times shoot an airmail in this situation. That is not advised if you are a social or competitive player. And I really believe that the reason that Matt didn't airmail this bag right here in this situation is just an ever so slight smidge of the bag is already sitting in the hole. If that bag was clean away from the hole and Matt was that confident in his airmailing ability, I believe Matt Guy would have shot an airmail in this situation, thus putting a lot of pressure on Adam Hissner to execute a push shot in the subsequent shots. But we'll see what Matt does. He's going to come in with a good replacement bag, pushes Adam's in. That bag's as good as in because it's so slick. Adam follows it up. Matt's going to step out again. He's going to try this little slide around shot we've seen a few times. And what happens here is, boom, we get a bunch. Now, so many different options here, and I think a lot of players at many different levels make the wrong decision here. And I think Adam throws the absolute perfect bag in this situation. What many players do is they will start off and they'll flip that bag over on the slick side. And what they'll do is they'll try a hard push here right at the center of those bags and try to bring them all in. What they get actually happening is a bag hitting here and then ricocheting this way, leaving their bag off to the side of the hole. Or if they're or it'll just bunch up even more on the hole, which is actually the best case scenario in that situation. But what Adam does, it is so subtle. He stays on the sticky side and he throws a bag on this side of the hole. He attempts to clog it in all directions, leaving Matt with absolutely no shot. Now, many of you will say, well, Trey, why don't you just throw the airmail if you want to stay real aggressive? If you are an elite player, why not just throw it? The problem is these bags are elevated, which means they are bunched up and higher off the board than normal, meaning an airmail has a good chance of actually creating a trampoline effect. The bag will land on the bags and then shoot off the back of the board, leaving you susceptible to give up points to Matt. So let's see Adam's shot here. I think it's a beauty. Sticky side, bunches it up even more, and really leaves Matt no option. If he goes for an airmail, you're probably getting a trampoline effect, and Matt, you see here, just lays it up. Now here's another thinker, all right? These bags are so bunched up in the hole here. What you're going to see in a second is Adam's thought process. He immediately thinks airmail, or I'll try to push them all now because I have Matt's bag blocking himself in case I miss. But he thinks. He gets smart. He realizes that shot's probably not going to happen, and an airmail is only going to give me another trampoline effect. So what does he say? I'll leave Matt the decision to make an incredible shot. Right now, I'm not giving up any points. I'm winning the game. So I'm just going to lay up right here and make Matt make a dumb mistake. Plays smart. Yeah, you see that shake of the head. He says, nope. Lays it up, and then Matt has absolutely no choice. He's going to lay up for a wash. So many players would try to steal points there. You don't need to score every single round to win. You can get away with a wash, and Matt Guy was very lucky that those bags did not fall into the hole. We're going to go back to back to back rounds here. This is going to be a double four-bagger for an 11-4 game right here. So this is going to be another wash. But again, Adam starts off with that block. But now, ever so slightly, it's such a subtle difference. We talked about earlier about how if the bag was creeping in the hole at all, that Matt wouldn't go for the airmail. Now this orange bag is pretty much completely away from the hole. If Matt Guy throws an airmail, there's almost no chance, very, very, very small chance, that that orange bag gets dragged in. And that's going to be the decision point for Matt about whether or not he goes for the airmail. In this case, he's going to go for it. If you're an elite player and you're playing against a sticky side player that can't push very well, that's a great thing to do because on their next bag, they're going to have to push their own bag in. And if it's on the sticky side of the bag, it's going to be very hard to do. The bad news for Matt Guy is Adam Hissner's pretty good at pushing the bag even on the sticky side. But it's a good thought to pressure him into a tough shot. Let's take a look at the very next round. Adam puts his first bag a little bit to the left of the hole, and it's not out of play just yet. This is going to show you a round of patience by Adam. You're going to see him throw that first bag, and then his next one lands to the right side of the hole, kind of sandwiching the hole. You got one on each side. Now, here is where throwing slick bags is tough. And one of the few places it's going to be at an actual disadvantage. Matt Guy, he's one of the best for a reason because he can manipulate that slick bag better than anyone. But what you wish you could have right here is the sticky side of Adam's bag. And the reason being, if you are Matt, right now you have an opportunity to score 2 points if you have a sticky bag. The reason I say that is if you can put a sticky side block right up in there, bunch that hole, clog it up, prevent anything else from going in, Adams, not even with an airmail, is going to be able to drag all of those bags. If he goes for the airmail, he's going to trampoline off. Now, the problem is Matt Guy's bags are so slick that when he ends up throwing this bag, it falls in and takes another bag with it, leaving Adam available to continue the round and pushing bags in. Matt ends up on a rare miss here, leaving the door open, and now the decision rests on Adam Hisner of whether or not you want to airmail this bag. Now, this is really the decision that cornhole players and top-level cornhole players always have to ask themselves. It is this situation where I get a bag on the side of the hole, and it's really a 5-point swing either way. If you go for an airmail and you throw the bag off the back of the board, you end up with 1 point out of those 2 bags. If you throw the airmail and drag both in, you end up with 6 points with those 2 bags. So it's a really big swing what you want to do. Believe it or not, I've done the math here, and if you can shoot more than 58%, yes, 58% on your airmail shots with some assumptions based on a slide, based on a block shot, and some other things. That is the percentage that you want to try and shoot that airmail. Now, it's not really, I mean, you got to shoot more than 50% on your airmails, which is incredible. But if you are an elite level player and you are a pro, that's when you need to be making those shots. If you feel like you throw 3 airmails or 4 airmails and you can make 3 of them, you should be throwing this airmail here for the drag, and that's exactly what Adam does, and he hits it. It's going to be a big shot. It gives him extra points, and it's going to eventually propel him into victory in this game. Watch it here. He doesn't actually get the drag, but then Matt is going to follow it up and make it for him. So, if you have an opportunity to drag, if you can shoot about more than 60% on your airmails, you should take that shot every time. All right, guys, we're going to fast forward a little bit here. A couple rounds later, 16-8, and the situation's pretty simple here. Adam Hisner has already thrown all his bags. He's got a 10 on the board. Matt Guy has thrown 3 of his bags. 3 of them are in the hole. He's got 1 bag left with Adam Hisner's bag sitting as a block in the front. Now, Matt Guy's not going to think about this. Matt Guy is going to shoot this airmail. He's eventually going to hit it, and he's going to score his 2 points. But really what I want to take the time here is talk to you players and give you some advice about, should I be shooting this shot? Well, really it's math. It's real simple. If you can shoot an airmail 33% of the time or better, you need to be throwing the airmail here. And that's because really you're making the decision of, do I want to lay up for 1 point, or do I try to go in the hole for 3 points, which is a lesser percentage shot? If you can make the board 1 point 100% of the time, then the airmail shot has to be equal, has to have an equivalent value of 1 point to you in order to make this shot. Now that sounds really complicated, but essentially if you shoot a 3-point shot and you can shoot it 33% of the time, 1/3 of 3 is 1, which means the equivalent value of an airmail in that situation for a 33% shooter is going to be 1 point, the same as if you were to just lay up on the board. If you're less than 33%, it is not mathematically advantageous for you to shoot the airmail. But if you can hit your airmail 40% of the time, 50% of the time, then over time it is going to be mathematically advantageous for you to shoot the airmail in this situation, just like Matt Guy does, and get your 2 points and earn first bag in the next round. All right, guys, let's fast forward to the last round of the game. You know the ending. You know how this ends. But it really is a masterpiece by Adam Hisner, and it really summarizes how well he did throughout the entire day. First, we'll start with a block, a rare block. I don't know if he meant to do it on purpose by Matt Guy, and the reason it's so rare is just because the bags he's using are so slick. It just shows you how much touch that Matt Guy has on his shot. It really is just impressive for him to be able to throw those bags with such accuracy and such touch. So it's just credit to him at first. Adam is then going to follow up with, I don't know how he avoids that bag on the sticky side on his bag, just going around this bag without touching it. Again, just back-to-back shots of just, I just don't know how they can do it. Matt's going to follow this up with a replacement bag, which is the exact right move. Even if you're a slick side player, if you're throwing with really slick bags, blocks aren't that bad with a really slick bag. Now, here is where Matt, I think, makes a perfect shot. I talked about earlier how Matt really kind of wishes he had a stickier bag in some situations. That way he could bunch the hole a little bit better or plug the hole a little bit better. But in this situation, it works out great. He's going to step out and use a slide shot to kind of bunch these bags up a little bit, and he's going to sit on top of the hole, which is great. He's in a great position. It forces Adam to just lay up in front. Now, here is the shot that will end the day for Matt Guy, and one that I have cautioned against, but one he's going to stay aggressive and continue to make this shot all the time. What Matt is going to do is airmail here and try to drag all of these bags sitting in front of the hole. The only problem is they are pinned upward, like I've said before, making them even more vulnerable to the trampoline effect. It is so subtle, but the difference between landing here and landing here is the difference between points and losing the game if you are Matt Guy. Matt is going to accidentally land his bag here, which normally would be an airmail, but because those bags are stacked on top of each other, because they're packed, it is going to bounce off those bags. Those bags are going to fall in, and he is going to leave Adam Hissner with a simple push shot to win. I don't necessarily question the choice of shot by Matt Guy. He simply just missed it too short. The rest is history. A big push. Adam Hissner fist pumping the ground. The disappointment for Matt Guy. And that is the tale of the tape. Adam Hissner with the consistent blocks, the consistent pushes, the timely airmails, and the overall just execution of his game plan is what enabled him to advance to the finals to take on James Baldwin. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first edition of the Film Room. We hope to be bringing you more of this throughout the season, breaking down cornhole games, analyzing strategy for all you cornhole nerds out there. For the American Cornhole League, this is Trey Ryder. We'll see you guys next time.